Sensational.
Comment and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm gonna wrap it up and just say something to all the new up and coming dreamers and artists that are in the room tonight. I wanna let you know that there is a definitive blueprint that you can follow to achieve success, prosperity, longevity, and peace of mind. It's a blueprint, and I followed it my whole career. It's very simple. There's three things you do. Just do these three things. Pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name out your mouth!
That's terrible.
Come on, man.
Oh, hell no.
They are so gosh darn selfish that this is why so many women get angry when you ask, what do you bring to the table? And their answer is, bring to the table? I'm not bringing anything to the table because I'm not going to allow you to use me. That's why that question infuriates women right off the rip. They don't want to be used. They want to use you. You are supposed to make their lives easier. And if you don't give them a life of upper middle class or lower upper class luxury, you don't matter. This is why you hear so many women saying, I can do bad all by myself, meaning, why should I work a 40-hour-week job with a husband? Why should I be paying rent with a husband? Why should I be doing any of this stuff? But yet, you work harder. Single women work harder than other women because you do everything by yourself. You just don't recognize it until it's too late.
Why do guys ask this question now? What do you bring to the table? Well, why? Because the modern woman don't bring anything to the table. They say themselves. That's not true, because they have a list of things they want from a man. They want to know what you bring to the table. So why you get mad when they ask what you bring to the table? Because you want them to make money. You want them to be this tall. You want a lot. Now they got this list on where you can't take girls on a first date. Well, you know what? Those women that has this list of where they can go on the first date probably are single. Probably are. Because my wife, we went to all those places. We went to all those places. So, that's not something that you really account for. But what do you bring? Because you want to be in a relationship with this guy because he meets your qualities. But do you meet his? How are you making his life better? How do you make his life better? Because men don't have a list. They have their standards, what they want to go for, but they don't have a list. We just want you to be peaceful and cooperative. Most men, not all, but most men just want to have peace. Now some want other stuff. But if you pick that guy, that's your doing. You did that. Don't try to say all men are bad. No, that's the men you picked. You picked him. Men don't say all women are bad, but y'all do have high standards. Why you want him to be so much better than you, and you bring nothing to make his life better? Why he have to be so up, and you just be you? Come on now. Are you in shape? Ask yourself that. Are you ready for a real relationship? Because if he is, he's gonna let you know. But he might just put you in two categories. The two categories are wife material and for practice. Do you want to be in the wife category or for practice? Because if you want to be in the wife category, you need to look at yourself. Look at yourself, because you cannot be overweight for most guys at the standard you want. You gotta be self-pleasing. You want all this stuff. What do you bring to the table? Because you asking for him to bring all of this to the table, but you want to bring just yourself. That ain't how things work in the past. Women did what they needed to. They wasn't abused or whatever. They did what they wanted to, but they brought things to the table except besides looks, because they knew how to be a wife. You want him to be a husband, and then you marry him. You want him to act like a husband first, but you don't want to act like a wife. You want to see what he does first before you can act like a wife. Have you ever heard of you gotta dress support if you want support? If you want the job, you gotta do the job before you can't just start when you're ready. You gotta come in already doing what you do. Every time I go into a relationship, before I was married, I know what I brought to the table. I always would watch and say what you brought. I may not ask you, but if you didn't bring to the table enough for me, then I just let you go on about your way. Because if you really, really care about someone, You want to make them happy, not just yourself. You want to make them happy. And you want the women, modern women today, they just want to make the man to make them happy. And they don't want to do anything else. That's not love. That's temporary. Because this guy can make you happy, but if he stops doing all the things he did before, you leave. You leave. Trying to find something better. Well, go ahead and leave. And you end up regretting what you left. Because, like the men know, you should know as a man, most of the time you're gonna get 80-20. Your wife is giving you 80, you can get the 20 from the streets. But guess what? Are you happy with the 20? No. So you women, you gotta think about the 80-20 rule also. Because if you getting 80 and then you try to go get the 20 from the streets, that's where you're gonna end up, on the streets.
Chris.
Bye, Felicia.
Be the best you can be. Love your family, love your friends. Spread love, not violence, not this virus. As always, peace.